The 2026 World Cup is just around the corner. In this video, I'm going to give you my complete predictions for the entire tournament, from the group stage all the way to the final, including the player of the tournament, golden ball winner, golden boot winner, young player of the tournament, and also let's get right into it. So starting off with the group stage, we have 12 groups with the new 48 team format. So I'm going to go through them one by one and predict each of them. Group A, we have Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and Czechia. So I think I'm going to keep Mexico in first. I think they're going to open really well because of home field advantage. Obviously, they do play on the first match day, I believe. They're going to open really well. I think they can easily top this group. I think South Korea is also really good. I think they're going to qualify directly, so they go in second place. Mexico first, South Korea second, and I'm going to put the Czech Republic in third, and South Africa unfortunately does get knocked out. Moving on to Group B, we have another one of the host nations, Canada. They're going to top their group respectively. I think host nations have gotten easy groups. Switzerland, they're not bad. I think they're far better than Qatar and Bosnia-Herzegovina, so they're going to take second place easily, and then Bosnia in third. Qatar gets knocked out. Moving on to Group C, I think this one's pretty straightforward. Brazil gonna top it easily. I think Brazil are one of the best teams in the tournament. Carlo Ancelotti, the new coach, I think he can take this Brazil team somewhere. I would like to see them win the World Cup because I'm obviously a huge Neymar fan. I just want to see Neymar lift the World Cup in his last ever campaign. So I am hoping for Brazil to win. I don't think it's that realistic, but in terms of the group stage, at least they're going to top their group easily. Morocco, the dark horse of the previous tournament, they have technically won the AFCON, but I don't think anyone's giving them that. That was Senegal. Senegal are still the AFCON champions. I think Morocco still takes second place. They are still a dark horse for this World Cup. I think they've only improved since the last one. Scotland go in third. Haiti gets knocked out. That's pretty straightforward. Moving on to Group D, they're the host nations, USA. I think they don't top this group. I think Turkey with Kenan Yildiz and Arda Güler, I think they actually have a real stake in this group. So I'm going to put them on first. USA takes second. Home field advantage, obviously. Australia third. Paraguay gets knocked out. And then we have Group E. Curaçao's debutant, first ever World Cup. They're not going to make it far. I have no clue. I couldn't name a single one of their players to save my life. So I think this group is pretty straightforward for Germany. They're going to top this one easily, followed by Ecuador and Ivory Coast. Germany, they have a really good squad. I don't think they're the favorites to win the tournament, but as usual, they're always a real contender to do so. Moving on to Group F, I think the Netherlands top this easily. They have a good squad all around. Memphis Depay is still playing. They have Frankie de Jong, Xavi Simons. They're going to top this group easily, followed by Japan. In the previous tournament, Japan were good as well. They're a dark horse. Not much to say about them. Sweden in third. Tunisia gets knocked out. I think that's pretty straightforward as well, unless we see an upset. Group G is a tough one. I do think Belgium are going to top it easily. Kevin De Bruyne is still up and kicking. I don't know about Egypt and Iran though. I think they're interchangeable. I'm going to say Iran goes second. And I honestly don't know much about Egypt's squad, but they do have Omar Marmoush and Mohamed Salah, so I'm going to put them in third, and New Zealand gets knocked out. Group H is Spain's group. This is a really strong group, I think, but Spain is going to top it. They're one of the favorites to win the entire thing. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Olmo, flipping... What was his name? They have a really good squad all around, I think, all the way from the defense to the attack. A lot of Barca players, so I would like to see them win as well as a Barca fan. They're going to top this group easily. Uruguay in second and Saudi Arabia in third. The debutant Cape Verde are going to get knocked out. Group I is also a really strong group. Some people are calling it the group of death. It certainly is so for Iraq. I don't think they can square up to any of the other teams in this group. France is going to top this easily. They're on paper at least the best team in the tournament. I think I can say that pretty confidently. They have an outrageous squad. If you're going just on paper, just in terms of the players, they're easily head and shoulders above the rest. Norway in second, Erling Haaland, Martin Odegaard, they're a real dark horse. Look out for them this tournament. Senegal go in third, the AFCON champions, and Iraq get knocked out. Group J, Lionel Messi's Argentina top this one. The reigning world champions, the defending world champions. They're not going to be able to defend the tournament, I don't think so, but they're going to top their group. So Algeria go in second. I don't know much about Austria, but I think they still are better than Jordan. So I'm going to put them in third, and Jordan gets knocked out. Group K is Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal. I think they're going to top this one easily. Another one of the really good squads on paper. I think on paper, if you're looking at the squads, it's France, Portugal, and Spain. I think Portugal are really up there in terms of their squad on paper at least. But in the way they've been playing recently in the qualifiers and the friendlies, they don't look that good. But I'm still gonna go for them to top this group. Colombia have Luis Diaz and James Rodriguez. They go in third. I am gonna go for. You know what? I'm gonna go for Uzbekistan. I don't know enough about Uzbekistan and DR Congo so they could be interchangeable for me. But I'm gonna go for Uzbekistan in third and Congo gets knocked out. Group L. England. They're gonna top their group. I don't think they're one of the favorites to win the tournament. I don't think they can go far in this tournament. I think they're just gonna make it to the quarters at most. I know they like to believe they can, but I don't think it's coming home. That's Croatia in second place. Luka Modric, Perisic, they're still up and kicking. You know, it's the unction. I'm gonna go with Ghana in third and Panama gets knocked out. Right, so if the groups turn out exactly how I predicted them, this is going to be the bracket we're dealing with. So with the new 48 team format, there's going to be a round of 32. I'm going to go by them one by one, start predicting. Mexico and Sweden, I think, is a proper mid-off. Not much to say about either team. I think Mexico, because of home field advantage, I think they're going to beat Sweden. I'm going to choose Morocco over Switzerland. I think Morocco, again, keep them in rear view. They're one of the dark horses of this tournament. You don't want to count them out. Hakimi, by the way, is also really good. So Morocco go through to face Mexico in the round of 16. Canada and Australia. Could go either way. I'm going to go for Australia. Brazil is going to knock out South Korea easily. I think they might even put 3 or 4 past them. It's going to be a straightforward match for Brazil. They are going to have an easy entry into the round of 16. Turkey and Senegal. This one is actually closer than you think, but I am going to go for Senegal, the AFCON champions. Ecuador versus Japan is going to be Ecuador. Not much to say there. Germany is going to beat Austria. I think so far there aren't any real difficult matchups, right? So I'm going to go for Germany to beat Austria. I think these are all really easy to predict. The Netherlands are going to beat USA, a replay of the last tournament. They're going to recreate what they did in the last tournament. They're going to knock out the United States once again. Round of 16. On the other side, we have Belgium versus Egypt. I'm going for Belgium. I think there is a gulf in quality between these two teams. Belgium are superior to Egypt. Uruguay versus Norway. Now this is a tough one, because conventionally you would go for Uruguay, but I just can't count Norway out. I think they're gonna have a deep run. I'm gonna go for an upset here, and I'm saying that Fede Valverde, Darwin Nunez, Araujo, and co get knocked out, and Norway with Erling Haaland goes through. Like I said, they're a dark horse. I'm gonna count on them to go deep in this tournament. Spain versus Uzbekistan, pretty straightforward. Spain, one of the favorites to win. Uzbekistan, most people didn't predict them to make it out of the group stage. Easy win for Spain. Easy win for France over Iran as well. Same logic there. France, one of the favorites to win. Argentina beat Czechia easily. Colombia versus Croatia. Now that's a belter. I don't think it's exactly straightforward. I don't know if one team is decisively better than the other, but I think Luis Diaz is really good. I don't know. Luka Modric isn't the same as he was. There's no more Rakitic, no more. Croatia just isn't what they used to be. I'm gonna go for Colombia. Portugal with Ronaldo, they're gonna easily go through over Ivory Coast, and England will go through over Algeria. So this is what a round of 16 is looking like. This could be way off come end of the tournament. I have no clue. I guess we'll have to wait and find out, but I'm gonna continue with this prediction. So first of all, we have Mexico versus Morocco, and I think this is where Mexico's journey comes to an end. I do think Morocco are going to make the quarterfinals. Morocco are making it to the latter stages of the tournament once again, as far as I'm concerned. Brazil is going to beat Australia easily. I think Brazil so far do have an easy path to the finals so far. I'm going to continue to generate this bracket, see what turns out. But I do hope Brazil reach the final. I do hope Brazil win the entire thing. Senegal versus Ecuador. Is it time for Senegal's run to come to an end? No, I'm going to continue them to go forward. They weren't really that decisively better than Morocco in the AFCON, but I am still going to say it's Senegal. Just. Germany versus Netherlands. Now that is a real matchup over there. Could go for an upset and knock Germany out. I don't think they're as good as they were in the Euros in 2024. But I am still going to pick them to beat the Netherlands. I don't know why I'm just not going for an upset just yet. On the other side of the bracket, we have Belgium versus Norway, and I am going to choose Norway to knock out Belgium and continue their run. They're going to go deep. They're going into the quarterfinals. Spain versus France in the round of 16. Flippin' hell. These two are the top two favorites to win this tournament. On one side, you have Spain with Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Oyarzabal, Olmo, Cucurella, David Raya, Rodri, Gavi. So much. They're really, really good. In terms of the way they play, they might be one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world in the way that they play. They play beautiful attacking football. France, Kylian Mbappe, Desiree Doué, Michael Olise, Ryan Cherki, Ousmane Dembele. Like, just listen to the names that are coming out of my mouth. Like, this attack is absolutely stacked. And it's not like you're lacking in the midfield or defense anyway. I hope. I don't think my bracket is. I think I've generated the best bracket over here. I do hope they. I hope they meet. I hope we get a Spain versus France, but further on into the tournament, not this early. But with the bracket I have generated, I'm gonna choose Spain to beat France again. They've done it. They've done it before. Lamine Yamal, you know, he beat that French super team. He beat them in the Nations League. I think they're gonna beat them again, but only just. It's not gonna be as dominant as it was last time around. Argentina are gonna beat Colombia, running it back on the Copa America final 2024. They're gonna beat Colombia again. They're into the quarterfinals. Portugal versus England is a really interesting one. Both really good teams on paper, but neither have actually shown they're that good playing wise. I still am gonna go for Portugal. They just have insane quality. England, they left out some of their best players. Left out Phil Foden, Cole Palmer. I know they haven't had the best individual seasons at club level, but you know they're different gravy for England. So I think it was wise to leave them out. I am going to choose Portugal to face Argentina in the quarterfinals. We'll move on to that. But first, we're going to go back to this side of the bracket, where we have Morocco versus Brazil. Morocco's run comes to an end right here. I am picking Brazil to go further into the tournament. I do think they have what it takes to go deep into this tournament. Brazil, they're always going to be a contender for the World Cup. Maybe they're not as strong in their squad as they were in recent times, but I think they do still beat Morocco. I think they might even put 3 or 4 past them. Senegal versus Germany. I think it's going to be a big win for Germany. Oh, look at that semi-final I just created, like 2014. Germany, they're going to dunk on Senegal. I just don't think Senegal will have what it takes this deep into the tournament to continue their run to beat Germany. Germany, not the best themselves, but they're not bad, okay? On the other side of the bracket, we have Norway versus Spain. This is going to be an easier matchup for Spain than, say, France. I think it is really impressive for Norway to still even make it this far into the tournament, even just the quarterfinals. But they are a dark horse. It's not like they're the favorites to win the whole thing. They do make it deep into the tournament. I think we're all gonna put our hats off to them, give them a round of applause come the end of the tournament. But they're not beating Spain. Spain does go through, and then we have Argentina versus Portugal, Messi versus Ronaldo, the last dance. Who is it gonna be? I just know I'm gonna get flamed in the comments for whatever I say. Either way, this could genuinely go either way. I think Argentina are the better playing team. Portugal have the better squad on paper. I'm not going to deny that. They have insane players, the likes of João Neves, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes. Cristiano Ronaldo is still a good striker. And I know I'm missing a few, you know, Conceição, Trincao, they're all amazing. They have a really stacked squad. But with that being said, Argentina are the better team playing wise. They might not have the big superstar names like Portugal, but they are the better team playing wise. I think Lionel Scaloni has created a good unit. They don't have the... I don't think they're as good as they were in 2022, but when they were crowned champions in Qatar, but they still are gonna just beat Portugal, and I think it's gonna be a blockbuster game for all the Messi and Ronaldo fans. And there we have the semi-final bracket. Brazil versus Germany, a replay of the 2014 semi-finals where Brazil were famously humiliated 7-1 without Neymar. Neymar was always at the peak of his powers back then, and he's not the same as he was anymore. I would love for Brazil to make the final over here, but I just don't know. I'm just not sure. You know what? I am going to choose them. I'm going to pick Brazil to make the 2026 World Cup final if the bracket turns out like this. Okay, don't come to me at the end of the tournament saying you pick Brazil to make the final if they happen to face like Spain or France somewhere in the quarters or round 16. Okay, then that's not on me. But if they do get this far, they are going to beat these teams in this order. Then they're going to make the final. All right, you have my word for it. They're so good. I think the younger generation they're going to carry Neymar. Neymar is still the heart of this team. He might not start every game. He doesn't have the legs anymore, but he's still Neymar. All right, I just he's my favorite player. All right, Germany. They're not exactly what they were in 2024, are they? You know, Wirtz hasn't been good at club level. I know he does play better for the national team when the time comes, but it's just not been that good, has it? Musiala, he's been suffering from injuries. He's not been that good either. I just don't think Germany are a good enough unit to compete for this tournament. Moving on to the other side of the other semi-final, Spain versus Argentina. We were supposed to get this match earlier We were supposed to get this match last year, near the end of last year, in the Finalissima, but it was cancelled. I would have loved to see Lamine Yamal play Lionel Messi, but we might get the chance this tournament. Again, I'm picking Spain to make the final. Argentina are not the same as they were in 2022. They have retained most of the squad. A lot of the players have retired or moved on. They're not at the same level anymore. It's been 4 years. They still have, like, it's an aging squad. Like, they were really good in the last tournament, but they're just not the same anymore, right? Like, even I would say the best player, Lionel Messi, he's not the same. But you have your Julian Alvarez, your Giuliano Simeone. You have a really good base in that young team. Garnacho didn't make the squad. I don't think he would have done much anyway. Messi is still Messi, but I just don't think Argentina are to have what it takes to make the final. So this is the final according to the bracket I've generated. It's going to be Brazil versus Spain. Lamine Yamal versus his idol Neymar Jr. Now these are both teams who I want to see win the World Cup. If I'm going to be watching this as a neutral, this as a final, I don't even know who I'll be supporting. On one hand, I want Neymar to win. I just want him to have that moment. I want him to have that crowning moment, that legacy at the end of his career. I just love to see him win. On the other side, Spain, they're Spain. You have a squad composed, like half of it composed of Barcelona players. I would love to see all of those Barcelona players win the tournament and return to the club with World Cup medals. But if I'm putting my emotions aside and looking at this more logically, I think Spain are significantly better than Brazil. So, despite I'm saying this with a heavy heart because I really want Neymar to win, but I'm going to pick Spain as your 2026 World Cup champions. Alright, so I forgot, I still have to predict the Golden Boot winner and the Golden Ball winner. Golden Boot, I think it's going to be... Let me look at my bracket once again. It could honestly be Erling Haaland. Is that ridiculous? I feel like that's not that ridiculous to say. It could also be Kylian Mbappe with France. The only reason I said Haaland is because according to this bracket I generated, I have picked them to go further than France in the tournament. They're both going to face Spain, obviously. So honestly, I just don't think any of the finalists have really that striker that's going to win the Golden Boot. It's going to score a lot of goals. It's going to be bagging for them. Spain, it's more of a tactical setup, right? They don't really have that in and out number 9. I think that they were the center forward, right? Like Ferran Torres. Brazil, who could they have? Maybe Endrick. Maybe it's not going to be Neymar, that's for sure. Is it going to be Vinicius? Is it going to be Rafinha? It could honestly be Rafinha. I didn't think about that. It's not going to be anyone from Spain. I don't think so. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to make somewhat of an outrageous claim. I'm going to say it's going to be Rafinha. He's going to be bagging for Brazil, and he will end up winning the Golden Boot. Might be really close. Maybe might be between him, might be Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, or I could be way off, and it could be someone else entirely. I have no clue. Come back to this video after the World Cup. See how I did. I am gonna pick him to win. I have a feeling, all right. He's coming back from injury, but he's still Rafinha. Golden Ball, best player of the tournament. I'm gonna say that goes to Lamine Yamal. Yours truly. He is different gravy for Spain. He's obviously amazing for Barcelona. According to me, he's the best player in the world. Playing in his playing style, playing wise, the way he moves on the ball, he's the best player in the world. And I think there's a lot of people that will tell you exactly that. I'm going to go for him to win the Golden Ball, as Spain will. I have predicted Spain to win the tournament, so it would make sense for him to win the Golden Ball. It doesn't say it here, but I'm also going to predict the young player of the tournament, which I think is also going to be Lamine Yamal. I don't know if the Golden Ball winner can be the same as the young player of the tournament, but if it can be, it's going to be Lamine Yamal. But if it can't be, then I'm going to have to pick someone else, and I'm going to say Estevao, because I did pick Brazil to make the final. If it's not Lamine Yamal, and this is only if the Golden Ball and Young Player of the Tournament winner can't be the same, then I'm going for Estevao. But if they can be the same, then Lamine Yamal will win the Golden Ball and the Young Player of the Tournament. So yeah, those are my predictions for the 2026 World Cup. Come back after the tournament to let me know how I did. Save this video right now, maybe leave a comment. Come back so you can come back after the tournament, see how I did, maybe make fun of me. I'm going to be reacting to my predictions at the end of the tournament, so I'm going to see how I did as well. I am confident. I think it's going to go somewhat like this. I don't think obviously it's going to go exactly like this. It's going to be somewhat like this. I think I'll be too far off, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah.